Tamara here. Today I'm going to be reviewing In a Handful of Dust by Mindy McGinnis. This is the second book in the Not a Drop to Drink trilogy, and this was also this month's book club read. I am so happy that this was the book club read this month. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Not a Drop to Drink, so I was hoping and anticipating enjoying In a Handful of Dust, and I'm so glad that I did because it was just amazing to me. It was fun to read about Lucy and Lynn and Vera and what's his name, Stebbs. Like, it was fun to check them out 10 years later after the last book. At first I was a little concerned, like, we're just gonna skip ahead 10 years and now Lucy's an older teenager, but it all fell into place and it worked. The story worked. So in this installment of the series or trilogy, basically there is a contamination and Lucy and Lynn's group is overrun with polio. And this is after, you know, a couple generations haven't been vaccinated, so people are dropping like flies like they were before the vaccination. And they suspect that it is Lucy's little boyfriend or would-be boyfriend. And of course, since Lucy was involved with the initial, you know, group that was sick, well, she's not sick, but they think that she could be a carrier as well. So they had to leave. They had to flee for the sake of the community and so that people wouldn't try to kill them. So of course, Lynn has taken herself on to be Lucy's mother. So of course she leaves her home and her lake or their pond that they so viciously defended in the last book in search of better things. They make the trek from Ohio to California in this book, and boy is it just astonishing. I mean, it seems like, how could you even think that you're gonna walk from Ohio to California? But their trip wasn't as black and white as you would think. Like, they run across a couple villains, they run across some good people, they run across, they go through the desert, through the mountains, they luck out and find some horses at some point, they luck out and get a vehicle at some point. Like, all these things that just help them get to their final destination. And it was interesting to see how these characters have grown, and Lucy is such like a little adult. And while there are still some things about her that are childlike, like she should understand that it's a rough life and what they have is a rough life. And yes, Lynn has done things. Yes, Lynn has killed people, as we know from the last book. But she is hard on Lynn when she finds out a little bit of information. And that is kind of disheartening. Like, this woman took care of you. She took you in. And you know she wouldn't have done anything to hurt you on purpose. But, you know, that's a child. That's a teenager. And that is what Lucy is as a teenager. At this point, Lucy is 17 or 18. And Lynn is 27 or 28. It's never really clarified which age it is because they're kind of confused about it themselves. I guess they lost a little bit of time being on the road and just dealing with the water shortage. They just didn't realize if they were one age or another. But regardless, this book was great. It had a happy ending. With that said, what would I rate In a Handful of Dust? I would rate it 5 bookmarks out of 5. And I feel like it's been a long time since I gave a 5 rating. I feel like it's been at least a month since I gave something a 5 rating, but this is totally deserving. The McGinnis has written this book in a fast pace, so it's definitely a page turner. I feel like I read this in 3 sittings. And it wasn't that long. I think I read it before bed both times, and then one time at lunch or something like that. It was just easy. I just blew through the book. I really wanted to get to the end and find out. And even during, there were surprise turns and things where you're like, oh no, this is just dreadful. And then something else would happen that would just change the course of events. And it was up and down roller coaster of emotions, and I really felt like I connected to Lynn and Lucy and, you know, a couple other people they met along the way. The story was really good, and it was 5-star worthy or 5 bookmark worthy. Have you guys read In a Handful of Dust yet? If you have, please feel free to let me know what you thought about it. Did you love it as well? Or were you on the opposite team who did not really like it that much? Regardless, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below or hit me up around social media. You know where to find me. Thank you for watching, you guys. And until next time, happy reading, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.